Welcome everyone to Stu's Cruise Getaways and Travel, also known as Stu's Travels. I just wanted to say I had a great time in Mexico City, and sorry for missing y'all last week. My issue was I just needed an extra break, and the editing's taking longer, so you're getting one of these videos today. But I promise you, I will be coming up with two videos from the trip, one about the trip and one about the history of Lucha Libre when that one comes out. That one will probably be one of my longer videos because I'm very passionate about it. Some key things about Mexico City without breaking in too much. I'm going to let y'all know. You hear about all the conflicts between America and the border with Mexico and all the cartels and all the danger and all. Not one time did I ever feel in danger. I felt safe the whole trip. You know, never felt like food got tampered. Never felt like I was going to be robbed. Never, none of it. There were a couple hiccups on the trip, but those are just issues. Like, again, I'll go in greater detail, but the friend I went with ended up with getting some stomach issues because of the water, and the other issue was my card got ate by ATM, but that's minor. I mean, that's just stuff that happens, sickness and all that. Just to let you know, they do have something if you end up getting it while you're going to Mexico City at the pharmacy. Just tell them, hey, stomach's upset, had some of the water. So yeah, today's video is mainly going to be about a couple travel news and information. Today is April 15th, so it is the end of tax season. So if you have just wanting to get into the going somewhere for travel, hit me up. Again, all my information will be on the end screen. If you have any questions of what is hot right now in the travel industry. And so that, but the two big pieces this week is, do not forget May 5th. It is coming up. We're about 3 weeks away. And domestic air travel in America is going to need that real ID, as well as entering some government buildings and maybe even potentially the railroad industry. I don't know what they're going to use for their things. They haven't really said anything, but it could be a industry-wide thing for travel. So just know that real ID, a passport, or what I did find out is military ID with the expiration date. Mine currently says indefinite, so I'm probably going to have to go to the base and get me a new ID with the expiration date, just so I can travel with it. I do have a passport, but just one of those things, just best to have multiple. I do not have a real ID because I have a passport, and I wanted to save a couple dollars on my new driver's license. So the next thing, I'm not getting too political, but there is something about the tariffs coming out and the travel industry taking a hike, which is good and bad news. So right now, in 2025, since the tariffs, some people are saying it's because of the tariffs. Some could just say the recession and the fact of money around the world is getting a little tight currently. International visitors to the U.S. have dropped 3.3% in 3 months. And in March alone, March dropped 11.6% compared to March of last year. So there's a big drop in people coming to America. And most of the key areas that are not coming is Germany, UK, Japan, and Brazil. Now, some, again, people won't say presidential issues. Some will say money issues. So it is hurting the American economy, they say. However, that is good news to a little bit. And what I'm saying by that is if you're looking to try to go do some travel here in America, a lot of these places are going to be hurting. So they might cut some of the prices down because they got to make up for it. So they're going to need people in there. So they may take a little hit and prices may decrease a little. For us, supply and demand. They need people, so the demand will be high, so we have to supply it. Again, I mean, that's not everywhere. And again, there are some beautiful places here in America. Here are some ideas, you know. If you've never been to some of the big national parks, again, Glacier, Yellowstone, Yosemite, Red Rock. There's actually a few there in Utah, Arizona area. Beautiful to drive through. Bet they're beautiful there. There's some beautiful ones outside of Colorado Springs. Everglades, if you're into fishing and camping. You know, they're all throughout the United States. So there's some nice big national parks. Vegas, Atlantic City, if you're into the gambling life. Reservations for gambling as well. Those are some good off brands to think of. Which they have some big names within the native land, but even it doesn't have to be a Hara or a Hard Rock or Caesars brand for you to enjoy it. Theme parks, even though they are a little pricey, they are always a good one, and the hotel prices may slightly drop because of the fact of international travel. I don't think Disney's going to have no issues with the travel, but some of the smaller ones on the outskirts within other brands may. You have, again, seeing some of these bigger cities like New Orleans, Denver, you know, Miami. Some of these bigger cities that have some great history, knowledge, you know, cuisine, things to do. Always good places to go. Going to the outskirts, St. Augustine's, your Maines, your Montanas, Idaho's, Northern Idaho's a sleeper. You know, you have Wallace, which is a small city within right there. A couple hours from Missoula, about an hour and a half from Coeur d'Alene. Nice, beautiful thing. Mountains all around. So if you're into the nature stuff, but morning in a hotel, Wallace is a great location. It has a theme park up there in Hardin. Yeah, Hardin? I believe it's Hardin. Or Hayden. Hayden, Idaho has a theme park as well. Actually got a train that was originally meant for Disney, and they got it. They were able to get it before Disney. So there's a lot of beautiful places that doesn't get a lot of foot traffic that now maybe you can go to, or local international travel. You know, Canada, Mexico, two great locations. Puerto Rico, even though that's still Americanized, is a country, but it's still technically out of the country. So, you know, there's a lot of beautiful locations around America that needs the support. We need domestic travel. Yeah. Also, I'm going to be finishing this up, but there's a couple more airline things. Don't forget, coming up in July, if you are a fan of Southwest Air, they are getting rid of the baggage policy. So unless you're a credit card holder, you get first or business class, you don't get free bags. And now they also came out with a top 11 best airlines. And I will read those out. And there's a surprise at number 1. actually. I would say top 2 because I haven't even heard of number 2. So, your top 11, number 11 is Envoy Air. Never heard of it. Number 10 is American Airlines. So, one of the big ones are near the bottom. Frontier is number 9. United Airlines, another big one's at number 8. Hawaiian Air is at 7. Alaska Airlines is number 6. Southwest is number 5. I think partially because people heard about the baggage. They were one of the top ones because of the baggage, but now they don't set themselves apart from anyone. Number 4, JetBlue, which is again one of those mid-luxury budget lines. So pretty good being in the top 5. Delta number 3. So that means all the big ones are already mentioned. And Delta's been number 1 for a long time. So you got Delta at 3, United at 8, American at 10. And then, number 2, I've never heard of SkyWest Airlines. There's a 4-point difference between 3 and 2. So that means they're that much better. And number 1 is what I hear about being too budget, too ghetto, too unfriendly, blah blah blah. They're number 1 with 5 points above Delta, and that is big. Spirit Airlines, if you look it up, they're newer, but they haven't had an accident yet. Knock on wood, that they never have one. But they haven't had an accident that caused casualties. There has been fights, but that's also sort of like the cruise lines. Carnival's had fights as well. Guess what? People still go on it. It's one of the biggest in the world. So keep an eye on Spirit. I know there's talk about them and Frontier trying to merge. I kind of hope not, because Frontier scored a score of 47.02 and Spirit at number 1 was 69.12. You're looking at a 22.1 jump. I don't want them to merge and then they drop to 5 or 6. Let them stay number 1. Let them prove that budget doesn't have to be bad. With the prices today, with the economy the way it is, budget is the way to go. You can go almost anywhere in America on Spirit Airlines. So again, we're going through a recession. Next year, quote me on this, next year's going to be popping with the Olympics and World Cup, and the World Cup is coming to America. We might be taking a hit this year. Next year, we're going to take off because of the World Cup. So don't let them fool you. Right now is a perfect time to get your American travel in at prices that are reasonable. Because next year they're going to raise the prices because of the World Cup. So there's nothing in the industry saying that, but that's just that's just what you need to know. It's just how it is. So again, guys, I'm sorry that I didn't have the video that we wanted this week, but next week I promise it will be there. So again, thank everybody for watching. Until next week, travel safely.